Elsewhere, the Warriors put up a cool 127 on the Mavs last night, but it was a sluggish first half for Steph Curry, who finished with 14 points. It was the other Splash brother who stole the show, Klay Thompson, scoring a season-high 45 points, leading his team to avenge one of its 4 losses this season by beating Dallas. Skip, what does this say about the Splash brothers?
Molly, Stephen A. Started watching the game last night, couldn't stop because it was relatively close at halftime, and I thought, is there any way Dallas can hang in? And obviously there was not. And last night, Mr. Smith, is why I believe this year's Golden State Warriors are becoming the most unstoppable force I have ever witnessed in all my years of covering the NBA. Obviously, we both agree. Steph Curry has turned into the greatest shooter either of us has ever seen. And I am starting to make the case to you, and I'll make it again right now, that other guy, that other Splash brother, that Klay guy, that Klay Thompson guy, he might just be the second best shooter I have ever seen, because his release is even a split second quicker than Steph's release. And I'm starting to think that he can get, on his hot nights, even hotter than Steph can get. I remind you, last year, Klay Thompson scored 37 in one quarter, and then he followed it up a little later by scoring 26 in a quarter, and this year he's already scored 27 in one quarter, and as you know, last night he scored 45 on Steph's off night. But I was most fascinated by what Steve Kerr said after the game. Steve gets very deep after games, very insightful, and he said that, basically, I'm going to run through the quote quickly for you, that Klay doesn't have a care in the world, which means if he misses, he just keeps shooting. It also means he's fine taking a back seat to Steph. There's always a little bit of a pecking order in the NBA, and Klay's personality suits that second option perfectly. So he's saying Klay Thompson is just fine playing second fiddle to this other guy, even though Klay has to know if he went to some other team, New Orleans, you know, wherever he might go, he could easily lead this league in scoring, and he's perfectly happy to take most nights the back seat. Well, talk about a lethal combination where if your superstar has a little bit of an off night and this guy can go for 45, that is unstoppable and unbeatable. And last night was why, to me, it's starting to feel like it is over.
Already.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless, when I think about Klay Thompson, I think that that is the reason the Golden State Warriors will probably repeat as NBA champions this year. Because as much of a superstar as Steph Curry is, and he is the best shooter I have ever seen, Klay Thompson is clearly the second best shooter in the NBA. This dude can put it up, and he could be every bit as unconscious as Steph Curry when he's really on. And it harkens me back to years ago when Mark Jackson was coaching this team a couple of years ago. Klay Thompson got his contract for over $70 million. And if you remember, I went on the air and said he was underpaid.
Yeah.
And the reason I said that was because I knew he could shoot. But all Mark Jackson raved about was how this guy could defend 3 different positions as well.
You're right.
He's a defender, and he's one of the better defenders in all of the NBA. We just never saw the level of marksmanship that we're seeing from him right now. Last year during the three-point shooting contest, I mean, Steph Curry's biggest competition was going to be Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just something that's unreal. And so when I look, and when I was in Cleveland the other day, I looked them dead in their face and I told them, can't see you beat Golden State. Just can't see it. And the reason why is because we're looking at Cleveland, and I'm looking at things. I'm looking at LeBron James' dominance. But if you remember in the finals when LeBron James dominated, Skip, you still highlighted the field goal percentage shooting on the part of LeBron James, and particularly his three-point shooting.
Yep.
Okay? Well, Skip, that's not a problem for Golden State.
No.
It is also not a problem for Golden State with them shooting from the free throw line. Their 2 primary shooters are the best long-distance marksmen in the game, who also go to the free throw line, and their money. Klay Thompson is 82%, and that's average because Steph Curry is 91% from the free throw line. I mean, how are you going to beat them if you're not efficient offensively? This is what's going on here. And it's like, Skip, I am depressed about it because I love the NBA. and I like suspense. And the Golden State Warriors are on the verge of taking the suspense out of this season. I'm looking at San Antonio and Oklahoma City as my only hope, because I'm literally sitting here begging for somebody to make it interesting, and I'm personally holding out hope for Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, because if Golden State annihilates them, I mean, what's there to say? I mean, what is there to say? A week from Saturday, I got to pray that those two come and fight and make it interesting, because Golden State is on the verge of making this season very boring because they're making it very predictable.
Yeah. Well, can I at least add that my Spurs lost by 30 at Golden State and then bounced back last night and won by 31 over Houston?
Well, that was against Houston.
I know.
That doesn't count.
Can I hang on to that?
Houston's not the same.
The other bonus point.
Well, I know it's not the same. I'm just hanging on to
consolation.
Houston's not the same. And I'm rooting for Bickerstaff. I truly am, because I love his daddy.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, they should have never let go of Kevin McHale.
Yeah,
they should have never let him go.
Klay second in threes, trailing only Steph, and 3 of the Warriors' 4 losses are when Klay has less than 20 points. You know what else is happening up in the Bay Area? The Super Bowl up next. Ryan Clark joins us. We'll get his thoughts on Cam's perception. But first, Ryan.
Oh, we know
where are you going?
We're going to
Come on, Ryan.
Yeah, we know.
Go to the right place, right here. All the winners are.
That board,
all these Super Bowl champions are on that side.
It might not be, Skip.
No, the orange is going to stay open.
Ryan, back in a few.
Yeah.
We'll see.
First Take is presented by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. And in part by Pepsi, the official sponsor of the Pepsi Super Bowl 50 halftime show.
All right, LaShawn, so your guy Chip Kelly, now in San Francisco, what advice would you give to Colin Kaepernick?
As a quarterback, he should have a lot of success in that offense, his ability to run and throw the ball. So just believe in, whatever Chip says or has going on, just believe into it, and he should be fine.
But you can't cross him or question his philosophy. You're going to have to go along with
what if you don't believe?
Right?
I don't think he's in a situation to really question anything. I know they benched him, this year.
Yep.
So just go on there open-minded, man, and go on there hungry. I think the offense is made actually for Cap. It really is. So it should do good.
That's y'all focus. My focus is that America is a fantastic, beautiful country, because you can get fired with a game left in the regular season, and 2 weeks later you end up with a job paying you $6 million a year after they ran you out of town because you weren't getting the job done. 2 weeks. It's a beautiful country.
It is a beautiful
country. That's all I have to say.
It is.
Yeah.
God bless America.
Beautiful.
Are you going to be at the Super Bowl?
God bless America.
Yeah, I'm going to Super Bowl.
God bless
You're
America.
You're going to go? And we know who you're going with.
Yeah.
See you out there, bro.
Yeah. And next year, will you be playing in the Super Bowl, or
I
we
think
go that far? Okay, good.
He's got both Ryan brothers now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It would be nice to see you in there.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Congrats on
see
the
Rex
Pro Bowl,
learn how to
too.
coach offense a little bit better, though.
Right.
We know you couldn't play dealing with the knee, but congrats.
I'd love to see Rex in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
oh, that would be
We'll be
Talk
fired
about
up.
celebrating. We'll see you at the Super Bowl, LaShawn. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. See you guys tomorrow.